Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Here we are. We got the one, the only, most talked about. A lot of buzz going around right now.
Yes,
You
sir.
seen him on Boom Bat Nation, seen him on High Off Life.
Family.
A lot of things going on. A lot of reposts.
You already?
A lot of internet buzz.
Yes, sir.
The one, the only, LOE Badgett.
I'll
say it right this time. Remove the middle name.
Drop the gang. Yes, sir.
Drop
yes,
the
sir.
gang. You know, I've been a fan for a long time.
Appreciate it.
What's Done is Done. The new project.
New album
It's
out
fire.
now. Yes, sir.
What's Done is Done. Where did the title come from? Talk to me about that.
Oh man, I mean, as artists, you know, we deal with so much, so much criticism, so much backlash stuff that we do. Eyes always on us, and as well as relationships. Relationship building is a big thing. So I
Yes,
dropped
sir.
a project called Facts Over Feelings last year, and that album was driven, by emotions that I had. I just kind of felt like the work that I was putting in wasn't being seen, or people weren't embracing it the way that I really wanted them to. So I named that Facts Over Feelings because I'm like, yo, if I can't be in your top 10 or your number one, with all the amount of work that I'm putting out, then let's speak facts. You know what I
Right.
mean? I did this, I did that. You know what I mean? As a local artist from a small city, I've been
Right.
able to break into bigger markets and get my name in different places. So I just felt like going into this next project with my man Ramin, shout out to him, the official producer of the project. He's from Russia. Going into this project, I'm like, yo, we're going to bury all of that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Whatever was done is done. You know what I mean? I
Sure.
wanted to actually name it It Is Finished, because that's what Jesus said whenever they nailed him to the cross. And I'm
Sure.
just like, this is me creating. This is, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus, of course, but this is me creating, and this is me saying everything that was in the past that happened, everything that led up to me doing this project, it's done. You know what I
Right.
mean? It is what it is. You can't get back in the game. So it was very
Right.
important that I named it What's Done is Done.
There you go. There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And I like your reason for doing that.
Thank you.
A lot of times we hang on to stuff
Yeah.
for the wrong reasons or too long. So sometimes you just have to say what's done is done and move forward from there.
That's
I
a
like
fact.
that. I like
Yeah,
that.
That's
I
a
like
definite
that.
fact.
So I'm looking at the track list here. Hoping you can give me a little background. Of course, I love the intro. You know what I mean? That was pretty dope.
Appreciate it. LOE Badgett.
Where they
I don't know why people
mispronounce it.
Yeah, man. People keep calling me LOE Badgett like I'm a piece of bread or something, man. Like I had to do that. The
Right.
skit was done by the legendary Uncle E. That's my uncle, man. I love him to death. He been riding with me since my first album. Since graduation, he been rocking with me, doing all of my skits.
Dope.
And he kind of grew his own reputation himself outside of me being LOE Badgett and being
Right.
a rapper. So it was important. I'm like, man, dog, the bigger I get, the more people keep calling me LOE Badgett.
Right.
LOE
Right.
Badgett.
Right.
So I call him up. I'm like, yo, you gotta, you gotta address that this next project. You know what I mean?
Right.
I need you to address that. And it was also done with my other uncle. Shout out to D Driz and Invasion of Privacy. Them boys doing their thing as well with the promotions.
Right.
But yeah, I felt like I had to. That had to be the first thing on the album. You know what I mean? Because that's crazy. Come on, man. It's Badgett, Badgett.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, get it right.
Yeah, get it right. That's a fact. Please get it right.
There you
know what
go.
I mean? It
There
drives
you
me.
go.
My wife, she gets on my back about it. Like, why these people keep calling you that? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes they can't get the pronunciation right, and I
Right.
get it. I think I saw the one dude that was giving you props. I think he posted a YouTube video and was mispronouncing your name, right?
Yeah. That's my man though, and it's crazy because I hit him up. I
Right.
had to hit him up before I dropped the album because I'm like, yo, bro, I don't want you to be offended. It's not just you calling me,
Right.
you know what I mean, LOE Badgett. I said it's a lot of people. So I'm dropping these skits, and I don't want you to think I'm directing it to you.
Right.
Shout out to him, man. I've never met him, personally, or spoke to him personally.
Wow.
But shout out to him, man. That dude is
That's dope. Just a fan, random, huh?
for sure.
That's
And
dope.
he's
That's dope.
Showing me nothing.
He was riding for you though.
That's a fact. Showing me nothing but love.
He was riding for you. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, and when my fans was hitting him and my supporters was hitting him back, letting him know, like, yo, that's not how you say his name.
Right.
He then came to me like, yo, bro, my apologies. And I'm like, yo, it's all good. Don't worry about it. But, you know what I mean? Him being the person that he is, he actually made another video correcting himself. You know what I mean? And said my name properly and apologized.
And the intent was there. That's the thing. He had no ill intentions when he mispronounced it. He was actually giving you a lot of props, which I thought was super dope. I actually thought you knew him. So that's crazy.
I don't know him. So shout out to him, man. I hope I can meet you one day, bro. And
there you go.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you do music as well or interviews, but whatever you got going on, get with me.
There you go. Sure. There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. So I'm going down the track list. I'm looking at it. It was like, I'm looking at the track list and I'm thinking, all right, should I ask about this? Should I skip? But it ain't no skip overs. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And you know, I'm a super hard critic. So
yeah, I do appreciate it.
Talk to me about Till I Die.
Oh, Till I Die. That's the one.
Right.
That's the one. I'm actually getting ready to shoot a video. I've been trying to find the right person that can, you know, bring what I'm thinking in my mind to life. You know, put it on that screen for me.
Sure.
But Till I Die is just, man, it's just so real. It's just, you know, that was a record that I made because I was, you know, once again, trying to bury the things that, you know, all of us go through as artists, you know, and I'm just like, well, this is what I am for sure. So let me let you know what I am for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is why the hook is, you know, I ain't never gave a fuck about X, Y, and Z.
Sure.
And then we go into, you know what I mean, Till I Die, I'm 100. You know what I mean? I'm always going to keep it real. This is what I am. So that's basically what that song is about. Just
dope.
Me being 100 with myself. You know what I mean? And letting other people know this is what you're going to get every time you deal with LOE Badgett.
The thing is that number one, that's one of my favorite songs. Let me say that from the album.
It's my favorite song from the album.
But as I'm reading the track list and now and kind of marinating on it a little bit more, it actually all is tying together. You know what I mean? Like when I look at it, like when I look at Live by These Rules, it kind of touches on the same thing that you said. What's done is done, because we all got different rules that we live by, and sometimes you find out the hard way about people that they don't live by the same rules as you. You know, and that's what's crazy. So when I look at that, it like kind of all ties in together. And I don't want to speak for you, obviously.
Nah, but you good. I appreciate you observing, you being observant to the project, and you know, really digesting and
yeah. So was I right when when I look at Live by These Rules? Is that kind of, you know, am I right when I say that it's kind of a realization that everybody has different rules that they live by? Would that be a fair assessment?
Of course, everybody lives by a different code, you know, a different level. But there are main things that I feel like each man or woman should go back to in life. I mean, we all got to have a base, a ground level.
Sure.
And you know what I mean. The rules that I spoke about, I just feel like they should be everyday life rules for people that, you know, get up and want something out of
kind of like common sense.
Yeah, it's just these is common sense things. You know what I mean? Right. And you know what I mean. I think one of the rules, I'm on the spot, so I'm trying to sit here and think about it. But you know, one of the rules is simply about you know, never leaving the house without a ratchet. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some people really got a reason to do that, but I just feel like the world is so crazy. Sometimes it's something that we need to do. Another one of the rules is about starting a business. You know what I mean? I'm all about independence. I'm all about being a boss and owning and creating and making your own schedule and being able to build off of that. That's another rule. So those are two totally different rules that also go hand in hand, because you got to protect what's yours at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
There's a couple other things that I mentioned, you know, on the hook, on the chorus of the rules, and I broke some things down in the lyrics of the song as well. But yeah, I feel like everybody should have rules that they live by, you know, to be able to advance. You know,
facts. That's absolute. And sometimes, even though you think people live by the same rules as you, they don't. And sometimes, or sometimes they veer off of them. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
So, you know, that's the tricky part about it, especially when it comes to this industry, because, boy, being around this for as long as I have, I've seen some things. Let me just say it that way.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I've been making music my whole life, but making attempts to try to break through, to really do something with it, though, it's only been 3.5, maybe 4 years.
Right.
You know, we covered a lot of ground, but I see a lot. It's a lot of dudes that don't live by these rules.
No, they absolutely don't.
It's a lot of people that don't, but it's also a lot of people that do though. It's a lot of real ones in the industry and in the game when you get to moving around.
Yeah, I think the creative part about it and the thing is to be able to sift through it, to be able to sift through and see, you know, who your vision, your rules, your morals, what you stand on aligns with. That's the thing.
Of course,
I think that's the biggest gift. Yeah,
you know, you got to pick and apply, man, and these are the rules that I pick to live by every day when I wake up. You know what I mean? There's more of them, but these are some of the main things that I live by to keep moving, to advance my family and my placement and the people around me, my friends, you know.
Yeah. I'm the same way, and the thing is I'm not mad if you don't live by my rules or ours don't align. That's okay.
Yeah.
You could stay over there and I'll stay over here, and it's no hard feelings. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I look at it. The title track, What's Done Is Done, got a feature on there. Talk about that and how that came about.
That's my man Z Rich. Z Rich from 717 as well. He from YC, York City.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Z Rich and everything that he does.
Shout out to him. We've been locked in for years.
Of course. I've been locked in with him for years as well. He does a lot of dope stuff, man. I just was on his platform. I just did a Hive Life freestyle. Went on there and went crazy.
Sure did.
Over the Money, Power, Respect beat from the Locks. But yeah, shout out to Z Rich. I mean, what happened with that is if I remember correctly, we was in the Green Room Studios with my man Derek. That's the engineer there, and I think Z Rich pulled up to shoot some content for me, and I'm like, yo, bro, you got to get on this. You didn't make my last album, you know what I mean? And he was on Since Graduation too, though. He had a feature for me, so I'm like, yo, bro, you got to get on this. And my man Derek, he just throwing the beat,
right?
You know, we sitting in there vibing, and he just looked up at me and like, yo, bro, I got something for you if you want it. I'm like, what you got? So he started rhyming his hook to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? 717's where we coming from. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I said, bro, this is the title track right here. This is the title song.
There you go.
I mean, he went in there, he recorded it. He completely set the tone. There was no other vocals on it. There was nothing on it. I was just sitting there trying to build and create. And he set the tone.
There you
coming
go.
in with a hook that really represents, you know, what it is. And, you know, sending another, I'm all about sending messages.
Sure.
So when I heard the hook, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is it. You know, I went in, I laid down both of my verses. I absolutely went crazy on both of them.
Right.
And, you know, he complimented me very well. He set the tone for me very well. And appreciate him. That's my brother, man. Salute to Z Rich.
Z Rich is one of the most slept on, man, in the 717 for sure. And and a lot of it has to do with his personality and demeanor. I love him to death.
Yeah.
But people be sleeping on him. He really is a gun for sure.
That's a
for
fact.
sure. I
wouldn't even say people sleep on Rich though. You know, Rich made a transition that a lot of us are a pivot.
There you go.
A pivot that a lot of
you
people,
said it right.
You know, are afraid to do.
I'll take that back. You right.
Yeah, he started moving around a little bit more. And when you start moving around a little bit more, sometimes your names get forgotten right where you from until other people start saying it again. You know, so I wouldn't say that he slept on, and he also created his own platforms. People don't see Rich is a boss, man. I just say that's a boss. I like being around bosses. That man is a boss. Much respect and love.
Absolutely.
To
He been rhyming for years. You know, he was under Fiend before, and like I said, we've been locked in for years. So far with my man Cordell, another one. You got some guns on here, man. You definitely do. You definitely got some guns. Talk about that and how that came about.
Cordell, first and foremost, shout out to him. He just won Hip Hop Artist of the Year.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Cordell, man. That's another brother.
I grew up with his family. That's what's crazy. Go ahead, though.
That's what's up. Me and Cordell, we go back to high school, I believe. He was a part of Team Dope with Maison. I forget the other member's name. I apologize, bro. But yeah, they were part of Team Dope. And, you know, he's a little bit older than me, both of them, Maison and Cordell. I grew up watching them, you know, do this. So I always admired them. I always respected, you know, both of their pen games. So, you know, whenever I dipped my feet back into the water, back into hip hop, you know, like I said, 3.5, almost 4 years ago, me and Cordell will always make efforts to try to get together. He had me on his last album. So shout out to him for that. And then I just felt like, yo, I gotta return that. And I had something for him, something along his vibe. He's one of them artists that, you know, if it ain't right, it ain't right. He ain't gonna do it. Right. So once I came up with the hook, once I, you know, figured all of that out, and I heard that beat, I just sent it over to him. he immediately got to work. He records at the same place that I do at the Green Room as well.
There you go.
So when I walk into the studio and Derek just got it rocking, I'm hearing Cordell's verse. I'm like, oh yeah. This is what I need. This gotta be on the album. This definitely got
that joint is fire too. I actually the Monday joint that you put out though with Cordell too. I just watched that. That was a couple weeks ago, I think. Now, that joint's fire too. So y'all got a nice little tag team combination right there.
Yo, we got a lot of chemistry, and it's crazy because me and Cordell, like I said, he's a little bit older than me. Never really spent too much time together. So for us to have the
seems natural though when you watch y'all.
So natural, yeah. For us to have the amount of chemistry that we do, I think that's just the love of hip hop. We both share this thing, that in common, and just having that love, of the sport and of the game, and knowing what it is, knowing that we don't got to be competitive with each other, whenever we collab. It's just love. Yeah, I think that's what creates the best possible piece of work. So yeah, definitely. Cordell's my man, and we did
shout out to Cordell. He's definitely a hip hop head too. He did an interview here in the studio too. It was dope, and you could see his love for the culture for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's
now the artist on this feature, the My Account joint. I don't know who that is.
My Account and I. That's Ye. That's Ye, man. Okay. Now I would say Ye. That's my brother right there. He slept on. I actually did an interview a few weeks ago, and I forgot to mention his name. Ye, I apologize, bro.
Right.
You know I love you. I got you right here, right now.
That's
a slept on artist, man.
Okay.
Ye is my brother since childhood. You know what I mean?
There you go.
He was a part of Fly Innovation. Him and my man T Thames, rest in peace to him.
Okay.
With them, I will say it was always a competitive spirit or a competitive energy, because growing up, they was always the guys in the light. You know what I mean? I always felt like the underdog. I wanted a piece of what they had. So
But hip hop is based off of competition, and it's not always bad. It's not always negative.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it's the iron sharpens iron thing. You know what I mean?
Of course. So from that, you know what I mean, something beautiful blossomed. Me and Ye been creating music for so long now. We also have amazing chemistry.
Right.
We've been doing this for so long. Ye was also on my album since graduation too. Same song as Z Rich too. All makes sense. So it's pretty much the same story. Yeah. He was left off Facts Over, not left off. I ain't gonna say left off, but he didn't make it to be able to be on Facts Over Feelings. So it was something that I felt like I had to make sure happened with this project. What's done is done. I had to get my brother Ye on it. He's also a producer. He's also an engineer. He's just a jack of all trades, and he decided himself that he was gonna play the background for a little bit and really just help me try to get to where I'm trying to go. But every now and again, I got to pull him out. I gotta pull him out,
yeah. Sometimes you got to do that.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
Of course, Skulls in the Cellar, of course, that's one of my joints for sure. Of course, you know, Reef just left not too long ago. We was just in here laughing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he family, so you know how that goes. You know what I mean?
That's the loyal. Shout out to my brother Reef Hustle, man. He come from a long line, a long background in history. And I'm happy to say that's my brother. That's really genuine family right there.
Tell me about how y'all met though. I don't even know that story. Tell me that story. I don't know how y'all met.
That we from a small city. It's Harrisburg, so we don't get too many opportunities. But for some reason, when you live in Harrisburg, you start to understand everybody in this world, everywhere, no matter where you go, knows someone in Harrisburg.
Sure.
Right? So, or has been here, has lived here, I don't know.
Right.
So, me and Reef share something in common. We got, a big homie, my man Dula. Shout out to Dula.
Yeah, shout out to Dula. That's my man. You know me and Dula.
Of course. Y'all go back as well. Great individual, man. Dula, he's been rocking with me in my camp, since the beginning of this, since I was a child.
Right.
So one day, I went viral. Dula reached out to me. Dula like, yo, I got something for you. He put me on the phone with Reef. Reef was on the phone, and Dula was like, yo, Reef, if you could, hook my man up, give him a verse, that'd be fire. You know what I mean? Knowing Reef's background, where Reef come from, of course, I'm like, man, I'm taken away. So, Reef ends up pulling up. He comes down here to Harrisburg, pull up in a big BM and all that. That's what he do. He like that. He from New York,
Right.
Pull up all crazy. I bring him into the studio. My uncle's in there with me. And I'm recording the album Facts Over Feelings. Yeah, it's Facts Over Feelings.
Okay.
And I know what people think. You know, whenever they pull up to a small town, they from a big city. You know, they think niggas is garbage.
Sure.
Nah, not in this case.
Yeah.
When we walk in, I start rapping, and I could hear him as I'm doing my in and outs. You know what I mean? My double ups. I can hear him just saying, "How old is he?" You know what I mean? Like who was this? So I'm like, all right, yeah, we got some. So I come out the booth, and that was it, man. We just started building from there. When he went in and laid his verse, once again, it was just we had chemistry automatically. That was the first time we ever met. And that was it. We've been rocking ever since. That was like 3.5 years ago.
Y'all definitely got chemistry. All the laughs we just had before he left was.
That's my big bro, man. That's my big bro. Like
y'all definitely got chemistry, man. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah, Reef dropped a lot of knowledge and a lot of game on me, man. He comes from the camps of Big Pun. Yeah, that's who he was originally signed to, Big Pun. You know, and then in his most recent years, he was with Fred the Godson from TBM. So shout out to both of those camps. Shout out to Terror Squad, both of those movements. Rest in peace to Fred the Godson.
For sure.
You know, I'm just happy to be affiliated with Reef and to be able to call him a big brother. And,
yeah. He stay humble too. All the places he's been, he's definitely humble. Still very, very humble. A humble dude. I respect that the most. He definitely show love for sure. I'm Straight. It's just you solo.
No. Excuse me. Hold on. Ahead. There's also another.
Oh yeah. Jay Scott. We can't forget Jay Scott.
Man, Jay Scott. Yeah, we cannot forget about Jay Scott. I apologize.
Yeah.
Scott, he from New Jersey. Big hip hop head himself as well. He's also super fire, super duper dope and talented. He's been all around the world as well. You know, whenever it comes to hip hop producing. Sure. So shout out to Jay Scott as well. That's my brother. Sir. I had to get him on the record as soon as I heard the beat. I needed that posse cut. I needed to bring the real spitters out, and them two held it down for me.
They absolutely held it down for sure. My fault for skipping over that and going to I'm Straight though, because I love that joint. Yeah, you know what I mean. Tell me where the genesis came from, the idea for that one.
I'm Straight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Straight was that, like I said, you know, the whole staple or statement behind the album, What's Done is Done, is burying what we got in the past. So when I'm finishing out this album, I'm like, or what has happened has happened, and you can't change it. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. So I'm like, all right, well, how am I gonna end it? And you know, right at the beginning of I'm Straight, I say, regardless of what happens after this, just know me and mine is straight. That's just my way of letting you know I'm good regardless. You know, because outside of hip hop, I am also a businessman. I own my own company. You know, I'm an owner operator. So we're gonna be good regardless. This is just what we love to do. We're part of the culture. You know?
There it is. The last and final track, I know his name. Another Uncle E on there. I see that.
Uncle E, another Uncle E. Like I said, he created his own name, his own. You know what I mean? His own platform for himself to be able to go ahead and do his thing. Right. And I've actually had a couple artists, you know, hit me up and let me know that they wanted to work with him.
There you go.
I ain't get to talk to him yet about it. So, you know, when you see this interview, hopefully by then we talk. You know, because I don't want you to be mad at me. But yeah, you know, he had to end it off right. And my brother Emilio, he's also on that as well.
Yes, sir.
You know, he a poppy. He hilarious. You know what I mean? When he get upset, he's a hilarious person. So shout out to both of them for doing that for me. You know,
absolutely
rounding the album off to complete it. You know?
Right. Yeah. So how did you the Ramin Beach? Now you said he's from Russia. So how did that relationship come about? How'd you link up with him?
Yo, I forget when I got with Ramin. I think it was my brother, my man Low Versus. He's out in California right now. That's my brother. I think he might have been sending me Ramin's beats and just telling me to link up with him. I really don't remember, but I believe that might be what it was. And
so he did all the tracks on the album?
Yeah, he officially produced the entire project.
Got it.
He officially produced the entire project. That's actually. This is my second album that's been officially produced by one person. The first one was Facts Over Feelings. I did that with my big bro with Agony.
Shout out to Ag.
Yeah, we know his
sure. We're gonna get him in here too.
Of course, you gotta get him in here. Yeah, definitely a history maker
for sure.
But yeah, I think I reached out to Ramin. I let him know that his beats was fire. You know, and that we had to do something. And you know, when a rapper reach out to somebody, they're very hesitant to check him out or to see what he got going on, because you know, it's the game is just so saturated right now. It's just so many people in the game. But when he finally got around to, you know, checking me out, seeing what I do, I believe, you know, it might have been some time that went by, and he got to really see what I do. I'm really a hustler, and I'm really, you know, really dope, I should say.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm humble, but you gotta throw that out there. But once he noticed that, you know, it was on. It was on. He just started sending me joints, and, you know, me and him got to really lock in. And I think we started the album. I think he might have sent me about 20 tracks. And then, you know, we were able to narrow it down to 7 that we really loved and that we really felt like, you know, we're good to have a very, very solid, well put together project.
There you go.
I think we were able to produce it. I think we did that.
Yeah, nah, that's fire. I love to hear it. Love to hear it. Love to hear how those connections was made.
Yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
man, the album is fire, man. I'm gonna open the floor up to you to say anything. If I always ask people this question,
Okay.
when it's all said and done, how do you want people to remember LOE Badgett?
Man, that's a really, really good question. I don't think anybody ever asked me that. When it's all said and done, I guess the biggest thing for me when it's all said and done, I would like for people to just remember me as a person that chased his dreams, but as well was able to maintain a very good balance with my family and my life structure. You know?
There you go.
In the business that we're in right now, and the multiple business that people are in, you know, it's always looked at like a rapper has to fit this certain stigma of, you know, he's a bum or he's not doing anything else or until they make it. You know, This is what they say before somebody makes it. And you know, I just always felt like when I get my wife and my family, which I do have right now, when I get into this position, that doesn't mean that it's the end.
Right.
You know what I mean? And by the time my time is up, which I'm praying is a while from now, you know, I just want people to be able to look and say, yo, he broke the mold.
There you go.
It wasn't over. You know what I mean?
I like that.
He turned up whenever
I like that.
He got his wife, whenever he got both of his children.
Yeah.
He went even harder. You know what I mean? I really chased a dream. I really built, you know, another business that could support this business.
There you
know
go.
what I mean? And I want a lot of people to also, you know, be able to do the same thing, man. You can do it too.
That's
can
dope.
use your 9-to-5 job to build, you know, your extra curricular activities outside of, you know, just going to work and being a husband, being a father. You can do that. You know,
that's super dope,
okay
man. That's super dope. I love that because a lot of people think it has to be either or. They think you either got to sell your soul, you have to give up everything else in order to make it. You know, whatever making it is now, because we got so many.
I was about to say it's all about what you want to do. Whatever making it is in your eyes. Like once I realized, yo, I'm not chasing anything but to build a base, but to get my music in front of people, because that's the reason for the last song on the album. I'm straight regardless.
There you go.
I'm not chasing a record label. If that happens, if that day comes, God willing, yo, thank you. I appreciate it.
Right.
I made it from all the support from my friends, my family, the fans of LOE Badgett. But, you know, outside of that, you know, I'm trying to, you know, look at this as if, yo, I don't need, you know, this or that to happen. But as long as I'm progressing, as long as I got another supporter that I had one more supporter than what I had yesterday.
There you go.
That's making it to me. I can grow that as big as I want. My favorite rappers, you know, built their own table. They built their own car, their own machine. Benny the Butcher, 38 Special. Shout out to all of those guys. You know,
they paved
their own way.
Yeah. And like we was talking earlier, it's different now. You don't have to necessarily have a machine behind you or be signed onto a major label in order to be successful, quote unquote. And I'm using air quotes right now because everybody's version of success is different.
It's different. Yo, you know the biggest thing that a lot of people got to understand, that a lot of times for an artist, it's not about throwing money at it. You know, I made that mistake. I threw money at it, trying to get into this position and that position. Yo, this is about relationship building.
There you go.
You know, this is about being a good person. This is about standing on your word. You make a promise to somebody. You tell somebody you're gonna be there. You tell somebody you're gonna do X, Y, and Z. You need to make sure you do it. That's how you get ahead. It's not always about money. It's not always about paper. You got many avenues and things that you can go do with money, but that's not genuine.
Right.
You know, being a real person, being able to build with somebody, that's genuine. That's what pushes you forward. That's what gets you success.
There you go.
You know, being real.
Yeah.
People got to remember that, man, and that's what gets you over the top. You know?
I say that all the time, that relationships in a lot of ways can be more valuable than money.
Of course.
I don't feel like people always hear that, though, especially when you're talking about business, man. Relationships a lot of times could take you further than any amount that you have in your bank account. But I won't start preaching right now, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for stopping through, giving us the breakdown. Like I said, the album is dope. What's done is done. Everybody should listen to it.
Thank you.
Talk about what you got coming up. We talked about some stuff earlier. I won't share everything we talked about, but I know you got some different content avenues coming up. Talk about that real quick, and then we'll get out of here.
I'm gonna hold off on that.
Okay.
But what I will say is expect a lot to be coming.
There you go.
I got a lot of new material coming. People already know what I'm doing right now. You know, I got Keep It Low Monday. I drop a brand new verse every week, a brand new video every week.
There you go.
I'm dropping a single every month. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just did the High of Life platform. Absolutely went crazy on that. And I got a show coming up, a show with Benny the Butcher, J.I. the Prince, down in Lancaster. Shout out to my man Marion Kennard. He's the promoter. You know, so we in the building with that. Everybody pull up. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets. We're gonna make it a movie. And just know the Loyals, Low Badgett, Reef Hustle. We got a lot on the way, man.
Give them your social media so they know where they can find you, and we're gonna get on out of here.
I got you. Yeah, you can follow me. Everything Low Badgett. LOE Badgett. That's Low Badgett, not Low Baggett. And tap in with me. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
There it is.
TikTok.
The most talked about. I'll say it again. Low Badgett, thank you for stopping through. Everybody go grab the album. What's done is done. Follow him on social media. Stay abreast of what's going on with the Loyals. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you. I'm out.